another raw video from your favorite YouTube scout, Draftrawthentic. Yes, I'm finally here making another video, and like I said, it's a raw one, so there will be no edits. Anyway, if you already know, I'm doing my 32 for 32 draft breakdown series where I take the 32 teams in 32 days and doing an NFL draft breakdown for each team for their 2018 NFL draft. Now, I've already done the AFC and NFC North. I've already done the AFC and NFC West. So now I'm on the East Coast. And if you follow what I was going with AFC, NFC, I'm on the AFC East. Now, with the AFC East, I've already done 3 of the 4 teams. That being the Patriots, check out that video. The Jets, check out that video. And the Bills, please check out that video. Now I'm on to the Miami Dolphins, the last team for the AFC East. So you know what? Let's just get into it. With the first pick, the Miami Dolphins select Minkah Fitzpatrick. Yes, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Minkah Fitzpatrick, if you've seen my top safety prospects video, then you know how I feel about Minkah Fitzpatrick. I feel as though he was a top 5 player in this draft. I feel as though he obviously is the best safety in this draft, the best defensive back in this draft. Minkah Fitzpatrick pretty much gives you the stuff that you want to see from him. He gives you you see the deep coverage, the range that he has is the deep free safety. I'm sorry, I messed that up. You see the tackling ability. You see the blitzing ability. You see safety in the box skills, being able to use his instincts, read and react, following in zone coverage, following the coverage and how reading the receiver's routes and seeing how, everything is kind of coming in and going out and you know what I mean? Trying to put it in simpler terms, all right? So when it comes to Minkah, when it comes to all of that type of stuff, that pretty much makes him the best safety in this draft class. This was a tremendous pick from the Miami Dolphins. They haven't had a game-changing safety since, I really don't know. But it feels like they never had a game-changing safety. But this is a chance for them to get a game-changing safety. Now, I want to go into where I was looking at an interview. And even though I don't like this guy as a person, right? I just want to put that out there. I'm about to name his name. It has nothing to do with his past or something like that. It's just a vibe or a feel that I get from him. The reason why I don't like him. I love this guy as a football player, but I don't like him as a person. And that person I'm talking about is my favorite team, the Baltimore Ravens' most famous player, and that is Ray Lewis. But I do respect his opinion when it comes to players. So he said something about Minkah, and he explained this thing, and I think it was with Colin Cowherd, and he said something about how his intellect, and it was a situation where the quarterback was dropping back, and if he ran too far over to one side, Minkah, then he wouldn't have been able to get the sack on the quarterback. He said something about reading his upright shoulder and looking straight down at that point. The quarterback had nowhere to go because the quarterback would have been trapped. They couldn't go to the left because Minkah would have got him. They couldn't go to the right because Minkah would have got him. And it was one of those things that he was talking about that where it was just like he attacked that point, and he can tell he attacked that point. And it's one of those smart things that, when you're instinctive, when you're intellectual, and when you are a true freshman starting for a Nick Saban defense, that shows, and that's what pours out there. So I'm gonna just say this, just to add on to what I think about Minkah Fitzpatrick. This may have been the steal of the first round, and I know it was a top 15 pick, but it was probably the steal of the first round because he should have went higher than that. But anyway, not to waste your time, 4.5 minutes into this video, let's go to the next pick. And the next pick, they chose Mike Gesicki. Now, Mike Gesicki is a guy that, I like, actually. it's kind of funny because at Penn State, and it just sounds weird, but he reminded me of Allen Robinson. I know Robinson is a wide receiver, but it was a lot of plays where he was making jump balls or making certain type of clutch type catches where it reminded me of Robinson. And it kind of actually shows because, honestly, I feel as though Gesicki is more of a receiver in a tight end's body, just like a Mark Andrews. He's a guy that's not that willing of a blocker. Well, not to say willing of a blocker, but he needs to improve his technique a lot and his strength. And he's more of a guy, I wouldn't say he's soft, but he's a guy that's trying to learn this position on the fly. And there's a lot of upside to him. So I think that this pick is a solid pick. I don't know if it's a great pick, but it's one of those situations where he could seriously turn out to be one of those next big-time tight ends, but at the same time, he can actually turn out to be the next Jermaine Gresham, where he doesn't really amount to anything because maybe it just doesn't work out for him. Maybe the mentality, maybe, all of that, the mental aspect and everything, the pressure in the NFL, maybe it doesn't work out. But we'll see with Gesicki. He's one of those prospects where it's one of those things where you love the upside more than you love the player. So, but anyway, in the third round, they chose linebacker from Ohio State, Jerome Baker, or Barker. I don't care what his name is. He sucked. I watched this tape. The dude sucked. So I'm gonna just go to the next pick. Tight end, Durham Syfe from Notre Dame. Solid blocking tight end. Nothing really to say about that player as much. He's literally the opposite of Mike Gesicki, so, it's an okay pick. Their next pick, they chose Kalen Ballage. I'm not a fan of Kalen Ballage at all. I think that this dude he is a height, weight, speed specimen. He looks good with his shirt off, but then when you put a shirt on and you put him out on the field, he's gonna do nothing. So that's what I feel about him. I think that his highest ceiling is probably Niles Davis. If you don't know who Niles Davis is, he was a running back from Arkansas, I believe, that was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs when they still had Jamal Charles. And when Charles got hurt, they put Niles Davis in, and he did some stuff for him, but then in the next year, there was some stuff with maybe maturity issues, and then he wasn't as good as a back as that we thought. It was just more of the offensive line opened up big holes for him, and he was able to use his power and speed to get down the field. But when it came to actually being a running back and blocking and stuff like that, he didn't amount to anything, and that's where I think what Kalen Ballage is. I think that he's probably a 1 or 2 year wonder, and then he's just going to fade out. So it is what it is. Anyway, with their next 3 picks, these are players that I use 2 different. If you've seen any of my videos, first of all, if you've seen any of my other draft breakdown videos, I use 2 different websites to give me prospects to look at. In both of those websites, sometimes there's a situation where a name may get skipped and I may not watch the player or whatever and stuff like that. It is what it is. But then there's other times where those players' names do not show up. And in these last 3 picks, they did not show up. Now, to also put this out there, I do not scout punters, kickers, fullbacks, or long snappers. So, obviously, I don't have nothing to say about their last pick. But in those other 2 picks before that, I don't know who these players are. I've never seen them, never heard their names. These are guys that just kind of came out the blue to me. So I can't give you a draft breakdown, and I will not. I refuse to read up on them and then give you someone else's words of what they thought about the player and try to play them as my own. I watch too many prospects. I'm prospect out. I don't want to watch any more videos right now. Probably later on when preseason rolls around, I'll start watching, some players that I didn't get to watch. But right now, I can't watch any of these guys. I don't feel like it. It's too tiring. It is what it is. But anyway, overall, the Miami Dolphins, I feel as though they had an okay draft. I did not like from picks from the 3rd round to the third or fourth round, the players that they picked there. I'm not a huge fan of none of those players. Their 2nd round pick, it's a toss-up. We'll see. And their 1st round pick is their best pick of that draft. He may be actually the only pick that actually turned out to be good. But we'll see. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more of me, and more draft breakdowns that I do for each and all of these teams, please subscribe. If you... Sorry, somebody upstairs. Anyway, if you... If you didn't like what I had to say about any of these Dolphins draft picks, please comment and please share this video so other people can comment, other people can see this video, and we can debate about all of these draft picks and draft players and prospects or whatever, so we can build this big old draft community and we can have something that can really turn out to be something big within the NFL. Anyway, this is Draft Raw Authentic. I thank you for watching. Goodbye.